Emily arrives back with her milkshake and sips it. No straw. Strawberry. Same thing she always has. She gets a milk moustache like a small child. She smiles as she wipes it off with a stiff napkin. "We'll sort it out," Emily says. "I mean, if he is." She invites Poppy to say the unsayable. Poppy looks around her desperately, tears budding in her throat. I was reading about witness protection online. They literally present you with a sheet of rules and you have to sign it. You know, don't lead a life of crime. Don't contact family members from the past because it messes it up. I need to tell someone. The witness protection people. If he's in touch with them. Pensioners are getting threatened. It'll be Lauren and Zara next." The thought makes her chest bloom with anxiety. Emily bites her bottom lip. Her 2 front teeth come away, covered in Mac's Ruby Woo lipstick. If it was them. "Exactly," Poppy says. She fiddles with the lid of Emily's cup. Emily reaches over the table and holds onto her hand. It's cold and damp from the drink. Doesn't feel like a hand at all. "We'll look at Dad's phone soon," Poppy says. "And in the meantime, if Balaclava Man rings me back," Poppy finishes, "which he will, well then you need to lie and tell them they're not actually in Truro," Emily says. Chapter 49. Zara. Coniston, the Lake District. 6 weeks gone. It's 5:10 in the afternoon. Phoebe is sitting opposite Zara. She's double-jointed, kneeling, with her feet splayed out to the side. The undersides of her heels are completely smooth, her toes painted a perfect pastel blue. Zara is sitting rigidly next to her. Here she is, at the fabled sleepover. This is her moment, and she is trying, in her own awkward way, to seize it. "Yeah, definitely," Zara is saying to Olivia in response to whether or not she is going to go to university. And she is. She'll study English. Olivia is the oldest of the year, born on the 3rd of September, and her entire identity seems to have been constructed around that. She seems to know about things before they become things. Tortoiseshell nails. Calling people a mood. Zara naturally shrinks into herself as she encounters her, and becomes somebody she isn't. The yin to Olivia's yang. But maybe soon they will be friends, and Zara won't need to sit on her bed and have imaginary conversations with Poppy, with old friends, or to replay old memories late at night on her bed. "Sienna is such a nice name," Phoebe says. She is softer than Olivia. She concentrates avidly in all lessons except maths, which she ignores. "I'll just fail it," she said sadly a few days ago. "I haven't got a clue what's going on. I've decided I'll just be one of those adults who's crap at maths." Zara had laughed at that and wished she could have that sort of perspective. The high-level view. Zara's entire self-worth is predicated on passing her GCSEs. She doesn't know where she gets it from. Her mum treats exams with derision. "Far more important things in life," she will say. Zara sometimes wonders if she gets it from her father, her real father. But now they will really never know. Sienna. Zara turns her head immediately. She has trained herself to. She thought she would find it difficult to answer to a new name, but she doesn't. Sienna is a smoke signal to her, an alarm, a warning sound. Phoebe's bedroom is enormous, an old bedroom in the eaves of the house. There's something shabby about it, but Zara likes that. Cobwebs across the beams, the pale blue carpet darker at its edges where it meets the skirting boards. Old, shapely radiators that hiss and creak. There are 2 skylights above the huge bed. Steady December rain runs down the glass. It rains a lot here. So much more than in London. It's cold with it, too. In London, the rain formed a kind of steamy closeness, especially on the tube and in school. Out here, the rain is wild. cold and free, being blown through valleys and across the lakes. It smells salty and clean. Zara likes it, but she isn't used to it. So, truth or dare? Olivia says. She raises her glass of squash. It's cheap stuff, orange, colour of butter. Zara is surprised. She thought it would be alcohol and cigarettes at sleepovers. She came steeled to try things. But it isn't. There is something charmingly wholesome about Phoebe and her ancient house and the row of teddy bears that still sits along the end of her bed, faded and dusty. Truth, Phoebe says, shifting ever so slightly closer to Olivia. Zara is unnerved by Phoebe's eagerness. She guesses it comes from having been bullied, but it gives Zara the uneasy sensation that, if necessary, Phoebe would say something about her. Something private, secret, to get close to Olivia. Zara closes her eyes just briefly and imagines she is 35, that this phase of her life is over. She will have been Sienna for longer than she was Zara. The lies won't matter, because they are so far back, a dot on the horizon behind them. Number one fear, Olivia says. Spiders, Phoebe immediately says. Zara made friends with so many spiders during the spring-summer she spent growing those lettuces that she hated. The spring-summer she saw the murder from that same greenhouse, and after which everything changed. People shouldn't be afraid of spiders. They should be afraid of football fans, of entitled men, of criminals, of the justice system, and of the police. That's what is to be feared, Zara thinks. She closes her eyes again and wishes she could go back to fears of spiders and snakes and the dark, of flying and heights and vaccinations and public speaking. But she can't go back, and she can't go forward. We get so many spiders here, Phoebe adds, gesturing to the old uneven walls of her bedroom. It's a thing with period properties, nightmare. Exactly what I was thinking, Zara lies. We used to get loads. She pauses for just a second. In Bristol. Really? City spiders? Yeah, there was a certain type, Zara says. Black widows or something. Her mind is racing, trying to inhabit this new person. There aren't black widows in Bristol, that's Cornwall. She'd seen it on the news. Nobody will look it up, she tells herself. Nobody cares. Your turn, Olivia says, pointing to Zara with her drink. Dare, Zara says immediately. She has no truths to tell. She is all lies these days. Get on the roof, Olivia says, gesturing to the skylights. There's no way I can get on the roof. On the roof! Zara stares up at it. She'd fall. She'd definitely fall off the roof in the wind and the rain, break her leg or worse. She'd look so awkward on the bed. The two girls looking up at her, an unflattering angle. They'd be able to see up her t-shirt. She tucks it into her jeans absent-mindedly. Her mum would do it. So many times when she was younger, Zara woke to her mother's laughter, the clink of wine glasses, music a little too loud, Aidan shushing her. Zara wishes she was like her, but she isn't. She is far more like Aidan, cautious and thoughtful and scared. And what would Aidan say? Don't get on the roof! His eyebrows would be up, a hand dragging his hair back. Truth, Zara concedes. What's your biggest secret? Zara puffs air into her cheeks. Olivia goes for the jugular. I haven't got one, she says. I haven't really got any. She smiles benignly. Very boring, really. Where's your dad? Olivia exchanges a glance with Phoebe that tells Zara they have talked about this before. He left my mum before I was born, Zara says truthfully. It is nice to be speaking the truth. Zara's external reality matches her internal self, and it feels satisfyingly tidy, authentic, like a weighty key fitting exactly into an ancient lock. Wow. Well, not left, Zara says. He was never with her, really. It was just she waves a hand, just hardly anything at all. Still, imagine. He has a daughter out there who he doesn't know at all. I know, but Zara stops herself just in time. She was about to say that she has Aidan, but she doesn't. Not anymore. My dad's a prick, she finishes, hoping a swear word will win her some kudos. And your mum is? A nursery key worker, moved up here for work, Zara says mechanically. You're close? We get on, yeah, Zara says, again, truthfully. Mostly. Though we're opposites. Sometimes Zara used to think that Poppy and Lauren would have made a much better mother-daughter pairing. Lauren doesn't really care about fashion, it's true, but they have a similar volatile core running through them. She could tell them about the way her mother has been irritating her these days and how closed and cold Zara feels, how wrong inside, like she must be totally broken. But then she'd have to tell them why, and nobody knows why. You're lucky, Phoebe says. My mum is difficult. Why? Zara asks. Mood swings, Phoebe says. Zara knows she is the one with the mood swings. She'll be better tonight, she will. She won't be rude or caustic to her mum. Phoebe reaches over and opens Olivia's bag of Haribo. Zara looks on enviously. She would never do that, not without huge amounts of overthought. Was the bag of sweets for her? Would she look entitled if she opened it? But nothing happens. Zara rolls her shoulders. She wishes she could climb out of her brain sometimes and into somebody else's, into Poppy's, her mother's, Phoebe's. You never know which mum you're going to get. Phoebe drops a fizzy snake into her mouth and puts the bag between the three of them. It's dark above them, the skylight's black, the rain a beaded pattern across them. Zara looks longingly at the beds, all made up, bedtime still hours away. My mum's just cold, Olivia says. She stretches her feet in front of her and points her toes. Her legs are completely shaved, totally hairless, not a single ankle hair missed. Ice cold. How so? Phoebe says. Zara reaches tentatively into the bag and picks up a fried egg sweet. She carefully separates the egg from the white as she listens to them. Just doesn't care. Doesn't like me, the real me. Likes it if I get good marks. Achievement, basically. Likes it when I agree with her, but doesn't like the things I say, the things I'm into. Dad's the same, sort of. He said the other day that I was entitled because I wanted a takeaway. Zara swallows. Maybe she's lucky after all. Her mother's love is so inclusive. It is a trawling net that catches everything. Dogs, cats, strangers on adverts. Everything Zara says to her is considered special. She takes it for granted. I do wonder why they had kids, Phoebe says. I mean, I don't know. But I'd like to think I would be nice to my child, make them feel welcome. So it's all hearts and flowers with your mum, is it? Olivia says to Zara. Yeah, Zara says. Oh, well, it's just us two who have fucked up, Phoebe says, raising her glass of squash to Olivia. Zara's face is hot. She looks down. She's gone blotchy. She always does when she's nervous. She guesses her cheeks are red too. Poppy used to use this green-toned concealer on her on days when Zara knew she was going to blush. School photo day, that sort of thing. To avoid you looking like a beacon, Poppy would say, her fingers feather soft against Zara's cheeks and temples. Next time your mum is mean to you, you call me, Olivia says to Phoebe. Phoebe's eyes are damp. Zara is hot with the wanting of it, to shrug off the shroud of loneliness, of pretense, of lies, to tell them exactly how things are with her mother at the moment. It's been weeks of not fitting in, and now here she is finally at the sleepover, and she won't be invited back. Unless... She leans forward, elbows on her knees, and leaps. "Guess what?" she says. "What?" Phoebe says. "There's a lot you don't know about me." Phoebe picks up another fizzy worm, looking at her curiously. "Like what?" "Like..." Zara starts. She thinks of her mum and Aidan and Poppy and John, and of every single person who has lost something because of her lie. Harry, the lawyer, whose case fell apart. The jury, whose time was wasted. Aidan's mother, who has lost her daughter-in-law. And Jamie himself, of course, whose only advocate told lies instead. Is ruining all that again worth it to fit in here? "I have secrets, like all of us," Zara says, stalling. "So tell us one," Olivia says. Zara looks up at the window and then down at her hands. No, it isn't worth it. Another betrayal won't make the first lie correct. "I find it hard to fit in," she says honestly, though it sounds lame even to her. Olivia stares at her. "That's it?" She tilts her head back and laughs. 3 slow exhalations. "Ha, ha, ha. I could have told you that." And that's what does it. Olivia's contempt for her truth. Her certainty that Zara is hiding nothing interesting, that she is just nerdy, nobody Zara. "Actually, there is something else," she says. Olivia doesn't even look up. She is fiddling with the Haribo bag. "You better not tell anybody," Zara adds. And then she tells them. She tells them every last bit. The murder, the court case, and what happened afterwards. How she was taken into witness protection. Her old name, her new name, the differences in her dates of birth, and how she is now. Cross, unpredictable, moody, scared, so fucking scared. When she's told them everything, Olivia's mouth parts in slow motion. Phoebe stops chewing. And then all she can hear is the drum of the rain on the skylights, the low murmur of the heating, and the sound of the truth, settling silently like snow on the ground, flake by flake. "You're in witness protection," Olivia breathes. "Yes," Zara says. "So I'm not an ice queen. I'm not. I'm just as fucked up as you two. More so." And just like that, with the truth out of her chest and her lungs and her mouth and in the ancient bedroom with them, she cries. Olivia holds her left hand and Phoebe rubs her back. And Zara is drowning in it. This connection, this intimacy, this acceptance. Chapter 50. Lauren. Coniston, the Lake District. 6 weeks gone. Zara is at a sleepover. Lauren is alone when her phone wakes her. She must have fallen asleep reading the Next catalogue that dropped through the door the other day. It's splayed open on a page she was about to fold down. A cute Christmas jumper with a pom-pom snowman on it. It takes her a second to realise that it's late. She fumbles across the bed for her phone. It's the Ring app that woke her. The video doorbell the protection service installed. It is showing a notification on the lock screen. Motion detected, it says. Her stomach coils into knots immediately. Somebody is outside their house, but not ringing their doorbell. She opens the app. It has never once gone off in the night in all the time they've been here. View motion? It asks. Lauren clicks yes, and watches as a video plays. The screen is black at first, but then their security light clicks on, lighting everything from total darkness to grey and white. There's their driveway. There are their bins. The blackness of the mountains beyond out of sight. Slowly, a figure looms into view. It's a man. Lauren's chest sparks with anxiety. He's tall. in a baseball cap that obscures his face, and tracksuit bottoms. He walks slowly up their drive, his eyes to the ground, one hand in his pocket. And then he raises his gaze, his face bleached to features by the security light, and all she can see is that he's slowly scanning the upper windows of their house. After a minute, he seems to see what he's looking for, turns around, and disappears down the drive. She rushes to the window, draws up the blind, and stares out. The light's gone off. Should she go out? She stares and stares. No, she can't. She's all alone. She gets her phone and opens the app again and re-watches the footage. As she watches the stranger leave, there is just something about his walk that is familiar to her. Something about it that seems a little like John's. Chapter 51. Aidan. Shepherd's Bush, London. 11 days to go. Aidan wakes in the middle of the night. He's on the sofa. The television is still on. Maybe that's what woke him. A half-drunk cup of tea is at his feet. He reaches to touch it. The ceramic mug is chilled. It must be the early hours. A rerun of Countdown is playing. The numbers round. 100, 25, 6, 7, 3, and 2. Target, 596. His mind immediately starts whirring before he even consciously realizes it. 100 minus 3 times 6. He blinks. The clock says almost midnight. He would have said 4 a.m. 7 times 2 is 14, and added on. If he can solve that, he can solve this. He stares at the television and thinks about Lottie and the Find Girl A meeting. He knows they went to Truro. He knows they found 2 elderly people. The hospital had been converted to flats, and Google Street View hadn't caught up. He can't let himself think about that, or he will be eaten up by guilt. They didn't harm them. They didn't harm them. They only frightened them. What he doesn't know is what is going to happen next. Now that they know, he set them up. He was buying time, but they move so fast, faster than he expected, and now he's running out. He logs onto his computer and sends Lottie an email. Subject, Truro. Can't sleep, he writes. Keep thinking about Truro. I know you couldn't get anything on them, that it's better to wait and see through our plan, but I'm so worried it isn't going to work, that they will find L and Z first. He's surprised when she replies straight away. I know, she says. I lose sleep over it too. But the nice guys don't finish last. They finish first in the long game. And that is what we're playing. Sleep leaves him like a blanket falling away from his shoulders, and tears fill his eyes. Crying at an email from a fucking police officer. What has his life come to? 596, both contestants confirm on the television, and he switches it off. It must have been easy. He reaches to check his burner phone. 39 notifications on Telegram, beginning at 7:30. Jesus, what's the matter with him? He never sleeps so early. He sits up and rubs at his face. His arms are covered in goosebumps. The app directs him to the first unread message, but he scrolls down quickly, wanting to read the conclusion first. Stomach acid burns his throat as he reads the final message. Outside the house. Going in. Aidan's fist is to his mouth. His hand is shaking so much that his lip is being rammed into his new teeth. He is sitting on the sofa, his feet on the carpet. The messages are time-stamped an hour ago. It will be too late, whatever he does. He can't see. His eyes are misted over with tears, that fist trembling against his teeth. He will read them all, and then he will call the police. He dashes the tears away and wipes his hands on the fabric of the sofa. 7:31 p.m. Kevin. We've found them. Up north. Finn did a reverse image search and found Lauren on a nursery website uploaded yesterday. At James Thomas, your scrapers aren't performing well enough. 7 of us are going up there now. Anyone else free is welcome to come. Aidan's heart is in his throat. Of course, he's been so fucking stupid, a Dumbo. He was so concerned with faking his own scraper results, he never ran a real one. He could have, and then told Lauren to get anything taken down that showed her. He has been so stupid, and it has cost him everything. 8:07 p.m, Mr. G. Sorry, not free, but wishing you luck. Hope she gets what she deserves. 8:20 p.m, Sean. We are free, 3 of us here, we'll come to you. 8:20 p.m, Kevin. Message me separately, mate. 9:10 p.m, Kevin. Just in the back of a van now. 9:21 p.m, Kevin. Speeding on up the motorway. On and on it goes, Kevin narrating on his own vigilante mission. Aidan's stomach muscles are so tense he feels sick. He scrolls past the messages, logistics, the journey, describing what they're going to do to them to silence Zara. They have a knife, a hammer. They're going to barge the door open. Lauren and Zara will be sleeping, and they will surprise them. At 11:24 p.m, Kevin sent a photograph. His hand, black gloved fingers clutching a knife. It's a proper knife, a knuckle duster knife with 4 round finger holes. It's not a kitchen knife. It is a knife for stabbing. The blade double-edged, so sharp Aidan can barely look at it. Aidan scrolls to the last message again. Outside the house. Going in. Lauren might be hiding. Please let her be hiding. He can't call her. He exits the app and calls 999. Please help me, is the first thing he says to them. Chapter 52. Lauren. Coniston, the Lake District. 6 weeks gone. Lauren is sitting cross-legged in front of the boiler, the evening after Zara was at the sleepover. She is thinking about last night's video footage. She hasn't told anybody. Aidan would freak out. She can't trust John. So who should she tell? The police? And what? It probably wasn't him. She fiddles with a joint she has discovered inside the boiler. If it wasn't John, then she should definitely tell John that somebody showed up on the camera. She has been in this loop for hours. The joint feels loose and it tightens as she messes with it. She opens YouTube and follows a tutorial led by a man called Ole, who tells her how to tighten it fully. Telling people good news is the absolute pleasure of good news, she is thinking. I fixed the boiler, she would say to Aidan, and he would high-five her and consider her brilliant, a genius, a strong and confident woman. An audience is life to Lauren. Anyway, it's after 11 o'clock. The house is double-locked. Zara is already in bed, exhausted from the sleepover last night, and Lauren might just have fixed the boiler. She releases the taps, and the bath runs easily, the hot water lasting and lasting, 1 inch, 3 inches, half a foot of hot water. Lauren stares at it in shock. The vapour rises, a miniature water cycle there in her bathroom. Lauren thinks she's never seen something quite as beautiful. She puts both of her phones on the chair in the bedroom. She used to entertain herself in the bath, podcasts, YouTube, the Coronation Street omnibus, much to Aidan's dry amusement. But tonight, she wants nothing in here, just this pure steaming water and herself. Lauren, not Lindsay. She takes her cardigan off, goosebumps appear over her arms. Next go her jeans, her vest top, her underwear, and then bliss. Her feet are in, turning red with the water's hot kiss. The rest of her body in the cold air, the exquisite contrast of it, like a July sun in December. Something jolts her body. It's the door. She stares out at the landing, frowning. She is the sort of person who will dash to open the door, who will welcome an evening visitor just dropping by. Aidan hated it, would put his coat on, pretend to be going out, but she'd open a bottle of wine in the kitchen, light candles, tidy up around them. No, no, stay, she'd say. But who could be knocking on the door? They don't know anyone. They are completely alone. Zara is reading in her bed. She's probably asleep now. Lauren thinks of the man on the footage last night, and suddenly the bath feels as cold as it used to run. Her heartbeat speeds up. It begins whooshing in her ears as she stands there, naked and vulnerable, the responsible adult who has to decide whether to go downstairs and see. There it is again. It's definitely a knock. A muffled sort of sound, maybe a gloved hand, 3 cordial thumps. She wraps a dressing gown around her, walks to the top of the stairs and tries to look down without being seen. The frosted glass is dark, unwilling to reveal the identity of the form standing behind it. Lauren peers over the banister. Shit. How is she supposed to know what to do? There's danger everywhere, it feels like to her. She sees the form shift outside, an unknown face looking right at her. She wants to reverse back up the stairs and hide under the beds, in the wardrobes. Call 999, wake Zara, smuggle her out the back. She remembers that knife-wielding yob in their garden in Islington and freezes in terror, just staring at the door. This could be it. The figure raises a hand. It's all black, black arm, black glove. It's waving at her. Tears build in Lauren's throat. She's never been so terrified in her life. Would somebody really dangerous knock? Would they wave? She tries to reason with herself. Maybe, she thinks, if they were an enemy pretending to be a friend. She finds her phone and opens the Ring app. John appears very clearly outside the door, framed in the screen on the app. She stands still. It's him. Should she answer? What if he is protecting her from something? It's me, he says, a hand through the letterbox to hold it open. It's so late, Lauren says back. I know. You need to open the door. Lauren stands in the hallway, frozen. Why? She says eventually, wrapping her dressing gown around herself. Her feet leave damp impressions on the carpet. There's been a breach. You're in danger. You need to come. Lauren is frozen by fear. Look, she says. She'd rather risk it. Would rather stay here than go with him. No, she says. No. But what if he's right? What? John says in exasperation. He keeps his hand in the letterbox so it doesn't close. Lauren stares at it, a small chrome rectangle quivering in the night. What's going on? Something about his low tone invites her confidence. The safety of the door between them. That he isn't forcing his way in. Everything builds up inside her. Aidan, Zara, that she nearly had her bloody bath and didn't get it, her doubts about him. It all mounts up and spills over. She is unable to keep secrets inside where they belong. Not when she has to lie all day long too. I'm not sure if you are who you say you are, she says. What? I'm not sure you're good. What do you want? To see my ID? Call my boss? He says. He sounds half aghast, half amused. Maybe. What's this about? You had a Holloway shirt in your car, she says in a rush. And you came up on the app. Someone that looked like you was outside our house last night. The letterbox sighs. Right, John says softly. I see. Are you going to let me in? No. It's a Boca Juniors kit, he says in a resigned tone. I play 5-a-side in it. Is that all right? Sasha got it for me, blue and yellow, but not Holloway. Oh. Do you want me to go and get it? No. She pauses. And the camera? She says. It was me, off duty. I was making sure you were safe. You left the windows open a few nights before. I wanted to check you hadn't again. You could have messaged. I just wanted to check. Couldn't sleep. Woke in the night, worrying. I couldn't text in the small hours. I just wanted to know, he says. His voice becomes urgent. I can't tell you how much you need to come with me now. What do you want? Do you want to see my official protection service pass? Lauren hesitates, her hand on the doorknob, then opens it. She can't keep this up, this hypervigilance. She's got to trust somebody in all this. He's had so many opportunities alone with them. She feels he's telling the truth, out there in the cold on the other side of her letterbox. She thinks she knows him to be good. She believes him. What's happened? She says as she opens the door, relief rushing through her like white rapids. A concerned family member has reported that the group has this address, John says, his cheeks white from the cold, his eyes darting left and right. They're on their way. We have a team here who'll do a sweep and remove any evidence that you've been living here, but you guys need to come. Now. What? Shit, Lauren says, wrapping her dressing gown around herself. The panic dissipates, as is often the case during a real emergency. She takes the stairs 2 at a time, ready to wake Zara. When they're in the car, later, having thrown as many of their things together as they could, she turns to John and says, Thank you for understanding. Earlier. It's fine, John says. In fact, I'm glad you asked. Means I've trained you well to be suspicious. He gives a tight little smile. They're travelling east. They were found by a bot performing reverse Google image searches. An old photo of Lauren compared with the latest one on the nursery website. The group systematically went through each hit until they found them. Then they rang the nursery, pretending to be her ex-husband, and asked for her address, said it was a family emergency. Eventually, when they said it was life or death, the nursery gave it. They didn't know any better. They didn't know not to. Lauren has been told off for allowing a photograph of herself online. There was a cold, serious fury behind John's words. The near miss was very near. But hopefully the police will catch them, John said. Zara is in the back, in her bedwear, shorts and a t-shirt. She didn't change her clothes, just packed slowly and shivered on the driveway while John put their cases into the boot, then resumed reading The Time Traveller's Wife in the car. Legs like Bambi's across the back seat. When she looks at Lauren in the mirror, her expression looks weirdly guilty. Lauren would know Zara's guilt anywhere, has parented it for a decade and a half. But why she is feeling guilty now, Lauren doesn't know. There are to be no selfies, no website photos, no online footprint of any kind in the new location, John continues. Whatever, Zara says. They'll find us eventually anyway. Zara, Lauren says, turning around in the passenger seat to glare at her daughter in shock. They will, Zara says with a shrug. We may as well just accept it. Accept what? That it's over. She stares insolently out of the window. There is something about the set of her shoulders. She's a ball of teenage anger. An attitude like that won't help anyone, John says. Zara's eyes widen, then close. Good, Lauren thinks. Go to sleep. You know Sasha, she says quietly, looking across at John, who got you the blue and yellow kit? Yes? What happened to her? The tail end of autumn goes on outside. Leaves catch on the windscreen. The trees are spindles by the side of the road. We were both in the police, he says with a sad smile. And she was killed on duty. Lauren stares at his profile in the dimness of the car. By a burglar who she didn't realise was armed, he continues. I drove straight to her. I was on duty too, in a different part of the city. But I got there too late. He stops talking, but his hands don't. He rubs at his nose, and seems to want to go on, but turns his hands over, a gesture of defeat, before replacing them on the wheel. It's pointless to keep analysing it, his gesture says. As Lauren slips into sleep again, she thinks of John. He left the police along with his sister, and, unable to protect her, he protects others instead. Lauren wakes in the passenger seat. John's got the heat up high and her cheeks feel tight with it. She stares at the rain running down the car windows. Black skies, street lights blurred with drizzle. Lauren misses the bath she almost had. "We're going to start experimenting with plants," John says quietly to Lauren. "Plants?" Lauren almost laughs. "We're going to set up some profiles on social media that the group might think are you. Silly errors. We'll have you like Facebook groups that Lauren liked, request to add old family members, and so on." "But won't my family think?" John shrugs, and Lauren supposes he means it's collateral. More damage, more feelings hurt, more confusion, more family drama, more angst. "Okay," she says. "We'll upload a photo of you to some of them, make your location clear. We can use 20 or 30. It will help. We've had some success with them with other clients, so we'll try that." Clients, Lauren thinks bitterly. Like they're paying for a personal shopping service, not being kept alive. "Will they work?" "Hope so," John says. Yes, they will try that. It doesn't matter that the first thing, the original witness protection, didn't work. It doesn't matter that they are on to the next, like a second round of chemotherapy after an unsuccessful first. It doesn't mean everything will stop working one day, that they will be found and killed. It doesn't. Lauren feels her eyelids beginning to droop in the heat of the car, her head lolling to the left. Something about the car is safety to her. The hum of the road beneath them, the heaters on low, the relief of choosing to trust. She'll be so good from now on. No burner phones, no website photos. She dreams that this time the group does find them, and that Zara is frog-marched out of the house, a black hood over her head. As the noose is erected and she, her baby daughter, who Lauren grew in her own body, is placed into it, she wakes up. She checks the back seat to be sure. When they are safely in their new, bland army-issue house, a different biscuit tin, a different coffee jar, Lauren gets into another starched bed and pulls the burner phone out. "Let me know you're okay," he sent. "I'm safe," she sends to Aidan. "Are you?" She waits for a few seconds. The group are on their case, looking for any crack they can slip through. And she can't do it anymore. She just can't. The black hood, the noose. She's got to be good now. She won't tell him they have moved. If he doesn't know, if even he thinks they're in the lakes, then nobody can find them. Lauren's optimism has finally been rattled. There will be no calls, no texts, no parcels. She adds a second message, and her last. "We had a near miss, but they didn't find us. We need to go back to no contact now. Kiss." "Thank God," he replies immediately at 3 o'clock in the morning. A second later, "I'm safe, yes, and I understand. Take care. Kiss." Lauren stares at his final message and wonders where she will be 2 years from now. There are 3 options. She lists them on her fingers as she looks out of the dusty bedroom window at a dead woodlouse on her windowsill. Back at home, the group disbanded. Unlikely. Safe in protection, settled in an identity, ready to leave Aidan in the past, ready to date again after their promised 2 years of waiting for the other is up. She can't imagine it. Or dead. Chapter 53. Poppy. Battersea, London. 9 days to go. The balaclava man rings Poppy again. She knows it's him when no caller ID flashes up on her phone. She stands, a rabbit in headlights, outside the school gates. Cold December mists swirling around her ankles. This is her moment to step in. "I don't know who told you, Truro," she says as she answers. "But that was wrong information. They're not there. They never were." "Is that right?" the voice says. "Yeah, so stay away from there." "Sure. Poppy Madison, sure." Poppy hangs up before he can say anything else, then switches her phone off. She needs to go inside, but she takes a moment, letting the anxiety dissipate, breathing in the smoky, ice-cold air, breathing out hot breath that looks like icing sugar. In again, out again. Eventually, when even her eyes are cold, she heads into registration. She worries her way through English and double maths. Later, she taps her pen on the edge of the desk, thinking. Thinking about what to tell her dad. Nothing, she decides. He isn't telling her anything after all. How can she trust him to manage the situation when he's making everything worse by his own actions? She takes her school shoes off and rests her feet in their tights against the radiator. She's thinking about Zara, missing her, wondering if she has been broken or strengthened by what has happened to her. They were on holiday in France when Zara started her period, only she didn't tell Poppy. On the third night there, she merely took a sanitary towel to the toilet block with them. Poppy saw it, eyes wide. She hadn't started hers yet. "Is that?" she'd said, and Zara had nodded quickly. "When?" "Recently," Zara said. "How do you feel?" Poppy had put her wash bag down in one of the sinks. It was an old campsite, a cheap one, character building, Aidan had said, as though holidays should never be fun, and the brick walls were covered with spider webs. "God, I'd hate to start on holiday." "I'm fine," Zara had said, but her eyes were glassy. "Is it scary?" Poppy had said. "Yeah." Zara had disappeared then, into the shower stall, and Poppy was sure she had heard muffled crying. The next day, Zara didn't swim, despite Lauren's encouragement. Her cheeks reddened the more Lauren tried to make her. "Zara and I have decided not to swim this holiday," Poppy had said from her sun lounger. "You get a better tan when you just lie in it and rotate. No uneven bits." She'd smiled across the pool at Zara, who'd grinned back over her book. Later that year, when Poppy's period started, a little packet of essentials had appeared in her bedroom, on the bedside table, exactly where she needed them. Poppy sits there, algebra blurring in front of her, and thinks too about her father and about Lauren. She hopes she is helping to keep them all safe in her own misguided way. Fucking Spirit Day. That is what Poppy is thinking as she browses a horrendous fancy dress store after school. She's sifting through a shelf of wigs, red, blue, rainbow-coloured. Quite why, she's not sure. She thought a costume for tomorrow would come to her in this hour she allotted to looking, but it hasn't yet. Poppy hates fancy dress. She likes to look her best, not her worst. The brief is movie characters. She walks listlessly through the aisles, picking up cowboy hats and witches' masks. When her mum first became ill, Poppy enjoyed the challenge of these occasions, having to deal with things, having to make a World Book Day costume while her mother slept. She enjoyed the adultness of it, like she was trying a lifestyle on for size. But these days, years on, it's just a pain. She is jaded now. That's life. She needs to find something before it gets dark. Although even if she leaves late, she is safe here in the centre of Battersea, even if it is slightly grungy, because there are so many people around her. Crimes don't happen in crowds, she tells herself. She picks up a clown costume. Isn't it about a clown? She checks the price tag. It's cheap enough. Then she sees a movement just outside the shop. Probably nothing. Something and nothing. She inches behind a rack of Victorian costumes and peers out. Somebody in black is standing outside the shop, but not just standing casually, standing somehow actively. She feels a white-hot flash of anxiety zip up and down her body. She knew it would happen. She knew they would find her again. Bad things happen to Poppy Madison. She must have done something to deserve it once. She reaches for her phone. Should she call the police? She tries to slow her breathing, to calm down. What are they going to do to her here? But Poppy knows exactly what they will do. They will wait for her to leave the shop, and then they will threaten her. A strong arm across her chest, something cool and hard in her back. They will make her walk with them, and if she alerts anyone, they will do something. To them, she is an informant, to be disposed of as soon as the information is extracted. She only has now, this moment, to act. She dashes up to the counter, clown costume forgotten. "Excuse me," she says to the assistant, a boy only a few years older than her, with braces across his teeth. He looks at her questioningly. The man in the dark outfit steps away from the shop frontage, and she sees that he is wearing a carpet-right uniform. He stubs out a cigarette with the toe of his black trainers and moves on. Poppy's entire back is covered in sweat. "Nothing," she says to the shop assistant. "Never mind." She stares and stares outside, but it's okay. She's safe. It's a false alarm. Even so, she gets an Uber home. And she thinks she won't walk anywhere alone again. She can't. Not on these side streets after the commuters die out, like a river that divides into 100 streams. She just can't. She'll ask her dad for money for the Ubers. She won't take the risk. Chapter 54. Zara. York, Yorkshire. 6 weeks gone. It's an abstract concept to Zara that a section of society hates her enough to be desperately, violently searching for her. But she knows it's true. When her mum first told her they had to move, she thought it was her breach that had led to the group finding them. But it wasn't. It was a stupid website photo, her mother not thinking. A coincidence that it happened right after the sleepover. But nevertheless, Zara can't believe she was so stupid. To trade her safety for a few minutes' intimacy and understanding. Those feelings may be potent, but they are not a substitute for being alive. She needs to be tough in the new place, with everything that's still to come. An ice queen indeed. She is scrolling through her phone now, in the car, looking back at Phoebe's Instagram as her mother sleeps in the warm. It's gloriously unlocked, an eye through the keyhole to her world. There's not a hint Phoebe misses her. Will she have been told they were moved, or what? The takeaway from this is that you can't relax the rules even for one moment, John had said seriously to her mother as they drove. It needs to be better, or we won't be able to continue to offer protection. Zara had blushed so fiercely she had begun to sweat. 2 new friends, all that potential, just gone. She will never see them again. It had seemed so important, in that moment beneath the skylights at the sleepover, to be liked and accepted by them. And now, nothing. More evidence that her judgment is wrong, that she is broken inside. That the people who exchange glances about her at school and say, "Okay, Sienna," or the people who ignore her entirely when she speaks, that they're right. Something bubbles up through her. Frustration, anger, tears. Something negative and horrible is living inside her. This all began with her. It is all her fault. The list of people they have left behind is growing. The lies and cover-ups will begin again now. They will start to bed down, grow beneath the soil until somebody, maybe Zara, maybe her mother, maybe somebody else, makes a mistake. And they're pulled out again, their roots shocked and anemic looking in the bright sun. Just like the lettuces she had planted in the greenhouse where all this began. Zara stands in the window of her new kitchen. She spotted what would become their house immediately. She knows the look of army housing now. Plain, identical frontages, net curtains, red arm rails. Theirs will be the middle one. She knows it. Surrounded by 2 empty houses, like sentries standing tall, keeping them safe. She sighed as they approached. Her breath misted the window for just a second, barely perceptible, then faded to nothing. Time to start over. And now here they are. New names. Her mother is Leonora. Zara is Suzanne. They have new neighbours. Zara is surprised that the houses on either side aren't empty, but one isn't. It's hard to believe that it's a normal weekday for these people. Zara watches them from the kitchen window as they go to school. They seem to be a totally normal family unit. The mother is leaving the house in a suit, sort of shabby and dated looking. Poppy would have a view on the wide-leg black trousers and ballet flats, Zara thinks to herself, but she likes them. The woman seems like a safe pair of hands. She allows herself a little reverie at the net-curtained window. She pretends they're here, all of them, Aidan and Poppy. They're late for their totally normal, mundane lives. How Zara would treasure normality, now, if she could grasp it. The boredom of the school day. Pale cheese sandwiches for lunch. No plans for the evening except a book, a shower and bed. These things are bliss to Zara now. She wants to be bored, to be complacent, to not know her luck. Her mum is upstairs unpacking, and so Zara slips out onto the driveway in her socks, still holding the book she was reading in the car on the way here. The tarmac is frozen underfoot, and her feet stick to the frost the way lips stick to ice cubes. Her new neighbour's son is outside. He is about her age, holding a guitar case upright next to him, his hand steadying the top of it. He has mid-brown hair, the meet-me-at-McDonald's haircut that Poppy told her about. He raises his eyebrows and gives her a sort of backwards nod. She lifts her hand in a wave. "Just moved in," she says, gesturing back to the house. The houses here are pebble-dashed, not grey stone, like the Lake District. They're on an estate just outside of the city. Zara knows nothing about York except Betty's tea room. She couldn't even have pointed to it on a map. "I can see that, yeah," he says, looking at the moving van he no doubt thinks is run by totally normal removals people and not a protection service. "Where'd you come from?" His accent. Zara stares at him, fascinated. The vowels all bent, but beautifully so, distorted from straight lines into curled wrought iron. "Bristol," Zara says. Same stories for the Lake District. That's been the briefing. Skip the Lake District. It never happened, just like London. "Yeah? Which school you joining?" "I don't know yet," she says, and the faintest of frowns crosses his features. He wants to inch towards her, she can tell, but he doesn't want to leave the guitar propped up alone against the car. She takes a step away from him, conscious of her odd socks, taken hastily from the washing era when they were moved overnight. "All right," he says. "Well, I go to Hastings." "Is that mixed?" "Mixed?" "You know, boys and girls?" "Oh, yeah, it's full of idiots, to be honest," he says. "I go in the music room." His lips curl up, just a fraction. Dark eyebrows draw down, like, why did I say that? That's the expression that seems to cross his face. "To practice." She gestures to the guitar. She likes that. Books and music have a lot in common. Creative endeavour, she supposes. "Yeah, it's soundproof and warm. Best way to spend break." Zara winces. She spent break times in London lost in novels. She tried to make friends in the lakes, and look, now what? "I spend them reading," she says to him. A way to ward him off, she supposes. Suspicion comes easily to her now. He is not to be trusted, nobody is. He tilts his head to the side, appraising her. "Reading," he says. "Yeah." She waves the time traveller's wife at him. I like novels. Cool. I like smart people, he says. What's it about? It's a love story, she says. He holds eye contact a moment longer than usual. It's like a spotlight is on her. I see, he says quietly. Why do you read so much? Zara thinks for a second. Because I'm anxious, she says eventually. Escapism. I like anxious people too, he says. Bit of edge. Zara's chest fills with liquid pleasure, like she's stepped near to an open fire. All this time, she's been trying to mould herself into something cool, something worthwhile, something other than her nerdy, anxious self, and failing. And yet here is the counterpoint to that. It isn't change. It's acceptance. Here is somebody who likes smart people, who likes anxious people, who could like her for herself. No pretending to be cool, no attending parties when she wants to go to literature clubs instead. She could be, gloriously, finally, herself, and embrace life all the more because of it, the civil war within her over. But no, this cannot happen. She thinks of the sleepover and the website photo and of all the people who want to find her and hurt her. She turns away from him. Got to go, she says coldly. Well, if you are at Hastings, knock on room 11 in the music block at break or lunch, he says.